Okay, here's my review. The Kiwi Labs Cannon Gen 2 elongated 13 millimeter paddle. I'm going to do my best not to read to you the whole time what I have prepared. I may have to stop on occasion, make sure I go through my notes and not miss anything. I do want to be thorough. I was given the opportunity by the owner of Kiwi Labs, Larry Lynch, to review one of their paddles, the Cannon. A little background, I am a former tennis player. I haven't played in ages, just with my schedule, hard to get a partner to play, a decent enough court to play without paying membership fees and so forth. So just kind of tennis took a back seat over the last 8 years or so. But started playing pickleball last October, about 7 months into it. 6'3", 250. Been a decent athlete my whole life. Dropping some pounds the more pickleball I play. Been lifting for the last couple of years, trying to put on a little, but with pickleball in my future, trying to eat a little better and stay active and play the sport to the best of my ability. So anyway, that's my background. Started in October, a lot of rec play with my wife. Had a few injuries, pickleball-induced injuries that kind of set me back for a little bit, but I continued to play left-handed and hobble around when it was a calf strain. But over the last 7 months, I've progressively gotten better and better to where my wife is kicking me off of the rec courts with her and wanting me to go play with the men and women at the advanced courts, 3-5, 4-0, 4-0 and up courts, depending on where I was at the time. But anyway, that's my background, and here I am around the 4-0 level. And my paddles in the past, I started with the Vulcan V570, and I'd still recommend that today. If somebody said, "Hey, is that a good paddle to start with?" It's like, yeah, you don't know any better, and that paddle feels good in the hands. It's got good grit. It has good touch at the net. But as my game advanced, I'm looking for something else. I ended up in a Vatic Prism Flash, 16 millimeter, and went back and forth between it and the SLK Halo Control, 16 millimeter, and ultimately that Halo became my everyday paddle. I liked it over the Vatic just a little bit because of the touch at the net, the dinks, the angles. I just felt a little bit more under control. Not much difference in them. But I ended up with that Halo for several months and really enjoyed it. As my game progressed, the players I play against progressed, I started looking for a different paddle to continue to grow with my game. And the reason was I love that Halo. I'm not going to say anything negative about that Halo, but as I progressed and the players that I played were better, I was getting less and less putaways, winning less and less battles at the net. And not because my hands weren't there per se, it was the ball just kept coming back. I wasn't getting those putaways that I was at a little lower level. On drives, my drives weren't setting up sloppy blocks and sloppy volley returns back to me, setting up another shot. Those drives that can set you up for another shot, those were just getting put back at me or angled to my partner and so forth. I could drive the ball, I could get putaways, but I was having to really put forth effort to get those winners. I'm almost 50. I'm going to wear my shoulder out. I'm going to wear my body out if I continue to put that much effort behind that paddle in order to get the results that I needed. I'm not going to last very long. So I needed that paddle, my next paddle, to grow with me, be a little poppier, be a little, have a little bit more drive, a little more power on my drives. So I went through a handful of 8 or 9 different paddles, ended up with the 6.0 double black diamond. Don't know anybody that has anything bad to say about it. And I also had a Legacy Pro Air, 14 millimeter. And between those two, I went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, probably put 8 or 10 hours in with those two paddles, and ended up with the Legacy Pro Air as my go-to paddle. I could do the same thing with both paddles. There wasn't really much difference, but the Legacy I could get for 120 bucks. And I couldn't justify paying double that for the 6.0 double black diamond. So I just went with the Legacy Pro, and it's been a wonderful paddle. It would still be my paddle today had I not got the opportunity to review the Kiwi Labs Cannon. So I can't say enough to Larry about allowing me to have this paddle at what some would consider pocket change. All I have to do is give him a review. Wonderful opportunity. Let me try it. I may or may not like the paddle, but I'm going to be honest. Let's go. I don't think I skipped anything in my notes here. I think I'm doing pretty decent. Okay, so out of the box, I love the look. I love the black on black. I don't want my paddles to be all crazy. The subtle black on black Cannon, the subtle Kiwi logo, the huge Kiwi logo on the back side, but it's just not noticeable. I like that. It's not flashy. It's not loud. It's okay. So I like the paddle the way it looked. I like the way it felt in my hands. As soon as I grabbed it, I thought, holy, this is a light paddle. This is way light. And I only use, I'm very comfortable at the 8.5, 8.5 ounce. That's my range. That's the weight of paddle that I feel comfortable with at all levels. You know, whether I'm at the NVZ line, if I'm at the baseline driving, returning, that's the weight that I'm comfortable with and that I've found myself comfortable with. So I knew this was light when I took it out of the box. But when I weighed it, it was only 8.3 ounces. I thought, okay, so I only have to go up 0.2 ounces. I added lead tape at the 2 and 4 positions, and just basically black electrical tape to preserve my edges and to hold that lead tape on nice and solid. And it was exactly 8.5. Okay, so the only reason I really added that lead tape was to get it to the 8.5, which I'm comfortable with. And I put that lead tape at the 2 and 4 positions because that wouldn't really alter the paddle. You know, it's not going to make it more head heavy or whatnot. I could still give an honest review by putting just a small amount of lead tape at 2 and 4, putting it in my comfort zone, and then playing with it. Another reason is I saw another review saying that the twist weight on these was essentially 6 point. I thought I had it in my notes here. Well, anyway, it was a number. It was in the 6s that I thought was a little low on that review. So I knew adding at the 2 and 4 would increase that twist weight a little bit, but not really alter the paddle. So that's one number that I saw in another review that I thought, nah, that could be a little higher. So let's increase that. What it is, I don't have a machine to test it. I don't know. I just know adding a little weight there will increase the twist weight a little bit, so it feels more stable in your hands. So I did that. So I'm at 8.5. It's a comfortable weight for me, but still when I put it in my hands, it still feels light. Everybody that I give it to and let them test out for, you know, a game or two, they comment how light it is. I say, hey, it's 8.5 ounces. It's just like my Legacy Pro Air. Here, feel my Pro Air. And they go, well, this feels heavier. I know. I don't know what it is about the Cannon that feels light in your hand. T700 carbon fiber face. You can feel it. It's got wonderful grit. It's got wonderful texture. I really enjoy it. It's a common face. It's nothing that's going to blow you away. Everybody's seen them. But what I will say is my top spin with this surface, even though it's a T700 carbon fiber, nothing new, nothing fancy, this thing has bite. My drives, if I have an opponent back and I want to put a heavy top spin back there within 3 or 4 feet of that baseline, I can get it back there, and it has some late bite to it, if you know what I mean. You know, that top spin that has that late bite or dive. And at the same time, if I want to put a heavy top spin at your feet, if you're coming up to the kitchen line and I want to, you know, roll that at your feet, but not a little drop, but a heavy top spin roll, and I need it to bite and go down. In the last 2 weeks with this paddle, I have had my ball top spin and dive underneath a paddle and get an absolute whiff more than I had in the first 6.5 months playing this sport. And I like to hit a heavy top spin and play the feet. So I've had more people reach out for a ball that was no longer there because it had that late dive, that late bite, and got under their paddle or ate them up at the feet. More in the last 2 weeks with this paddle. It has incredible spin that I haven't had even when I had that double black diamond or when I had that Legacy Pro Air. So that T700, nothing fancy. This one has some bite, and I love the top spin on it. What I will say, the light that I was talking about, the weight, it's 8.5 ounces, but it feels lighter. When I'm at the net, I feel faster. The hand battles, I've learned to loosen my grip and have a lighter, maybe a 3 or 4 out of 10 grip at the net, so my muscles aren't tight, which I had a problem with the first couple months, playing tight and being, having decent hands at the net, but being slower than I wanted to be. Loosen my grip to be a little quicker, and this paddle absolutely puts the ball away. Hand battles are boom, 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 the ball's already past them. Boom, 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 I can get it at your feet. Roll shots at the net, top spin, backhand flicks or rolls, I can really get on top of them with power and spin and work them down, which can get past your opponent or really eat them up or make them pop something up and hit the ball up so you can put it away. So a lot of good spin with this face, excellent pop at the net, power on my drives. I'm loving everything about this paddle. Day one, baseline was no issue. Returns, serves, no issue. This paddle had that from day one. There was no learning curve with it. I will say resets, dinks. This is day one. This was a 2-hour day, just a 2-hour steady with a group of guys. We're gonna play. We probably get, I think we get 8 to 10 matches in or games in. So I put 3 hours onto this paddle. Resets really weren't there, leaving some of those high. Dinks weren't really there. I'm kind of floating them a little bit, trying to work all the way through and keep them down. Some of them were floating a little high on me. That's okay, it's day one. I'm not drilling, I'm playing. So I know it's gonna take repetitions to dial in the nuances of the game, if you will. So with that said, day two was a 3-hour session with 4-0 plus guys, and by that time I already had everything dialed in. The fast hands at the net that were there day one are still there. The drives and heavy top spin at the baseline, still there. But now I've had this paddle for a couple of hours in my hand. I've had the reps now that the dinks were there, the line shots, like I said, the backhand rolls. I had more success with those at a lower height than I'm used to with my other paddles. I used to have a particular height before I could speed up or do a backhand roll. I can let the ball actually fall or be at a lower height with this paddle because I can generate so much spin. It may seem like it's going out, and then it ends up falling 3-4 feet short of the baseline, a foot short of the baseline, but in. I've had a lot of people let balls go that they thought were out in the last 2 weeks with this paddle. So I'm able to get those speed ups at a lower height than I was earlier, and I hope that makes sense. That just gives me more opportunity to put pressure on my opponent than with my other paddles. Who's like, oh, I'd love to speed this ball up, but I'm not getting this over the net and down. So dink it is. Able to speed up more and have more success. So, and that was day two. And after day two, I knew this is going to be my all-around paddle. I haven't picked up anything since. So I just played, I may have mentioned this earlier. I'm in that 3.5 to 4.0 level, in that range, and I've played a couple of 3.5 tournaments. I win some, lose some. That's how I know that's my rating. Those are the people I belong with. I drill with 4.0 plus guys. Play with the 4.0 plus guys, but when it comes to tournaments, I'm that 3.5 to 4.0, 3.5 to 3.99 group, because I'm winning some, losing some. And so this weekend ran through competition with my partner. Next thing you know, I have the first gold medal around my neck with the Kiwi Labs Cannon. I don't see myself going back. It just those couple extra winners in every game are already proven, are equaling success right now for me. So I will not, as of right now, go back to another paddle. So let's talk customer service. So far, amazing. The only conversations I've had are with the owner, Larry Lynch. I don't talk to anybody else in customer service. I don't email or talk to anybody else. He's the guy. He's so quick to get back to talk about opportunities with Kiwi Labs. So I can't thank him enough for giving me the opportunity to test this paddle. I have no doubt that customer service will continue even after I wrap up with the bad part of this review, which it's not bad. All around, your customer service is good. This paddle is awesome. Everybody that I give it to says it feels lighter than the actual weight, and their hands are faster. And that just makes me even more want to go out and buy a handful of these and start dishing them out in my area, because Kiwi Labs doesn't have that kind of representation here. And this paddle should be getting some notoriety, some attention. The only bad that I am 18 hours into this paddle over the last 14 days. And there is in my tournament yesterday, I reached down and was kind of holding my paddle, kind of doing things with my paddle and holding it, getting ready for a point. And I noticed my edge guard. There's a couple inches of edge guard that I had to snap back on. That's not a bad. I mean, that's not a bad. If we think that every company out here is batting 1,000, we're crazy. If all the good that I said over the last 17 minutes if this is the only negative I have is, hey, my edge guard's starting to come out because maybe we missed a little glue here, inside. I have no doubt that Larry, after watching this video, is going to reach out and go, hey, brother, let me send you another one. Send that one back. Keep that one. I don't know. Or how about we get you another paddle? Here's a discount code. Let's hook you up. But my edge guard is starting to come off. A couple inches worth, and that's it. I can slap that back on. I can re-glue it. Do I want to? No, because I've had it for 2 weeks. I think it should still be warranted, and I have no doubt that Larry's going to do the right thing and fix that issue. And do some quality control. I don't know if anybody else has had an issue. It might be just a one-off. Doesn't matter. That's the only negative part that I could find in my review of the Kiwi Labs Cannon. Go out and get you one. I mean, if they're still on sale for 120 or 30 bucks, I can't justify spending 240, 280 for these new paddles coming out when I'm tapping paddles with, after the match, just running through guys with $280 paddles. I'll buy a couple. I'll buy 2 or 3 of these for that price, depending on discount codes at the time, and have those in my bag over, a paddle that's not beating me at the 3.540 level. So anyway, took gold this weekend in 3.5 to 4.0. So you won't see me there anymore. 4.0, here we come. I'm bringing a Kiwi Labs Cannon with me. T-shirts over grips. I'm going to just start repping in my area for them. I just absolutely love the customer service in the paddle. Take care.